good YouTube? It's Adam from MyMusicMole. Welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to show you how to get that slide effect from Ye and Dolla Sign's Slide. So the name of the game here is MPE, or MIDI Polyphonic Expression. What it basically means, or at least in this case, each note in your MIDI region can have its own pitch shift, which will give you that slide effect. Now in Logic, it does support MPE or MIDI 2.0, except the editing capabilities of MIDI 2.0 or MPE within Logic is non-existent, and it makes it really hard to adjust things like the pitch on each note individually. If you use Ableton 12, there's a new feature that lets you edit each parameter of each note in your MIDI region a lot easier natively, but we're going to go ahead and do a workaround in Logic to get that pitch shift on each note in your MIDI region. So the first thing we're going to do here is go ahead and bring in Logic's Alchemy. We'll get that sound going, and then we'll draw in the pattern. So the sound that I'm using here to get a very similar one to Slide is called Shimmering Release. And let's just go ahead, just what sound we need, and then we'll draw in the pattern. So we're going to use the performance on Synth 4. Our cutoff is going to be fully open. We're going to pull down the delay. We'll leave the reverb as is. We'll pull off cutoff 2, and everything else can stay the same. The only thing I will adjust is the attack. We're going to pull it up just so that it has a slow attack. Now the chords here are really simple. We're just going from an F minor to an A flat minor 7. But because we want to get that slide effect, we're going to have to do that via the pitch shifting, and we'll do that in a moment. First, let's just draw in our F minor chord. So it doesn't start there on C, it goes up to F. We'll count up 3 notes, count up another 4 notes. Now to make that chord a lot fuller, we're going to copy this over 3 octaves. So for the intro chord, that is the chord that we need to slide into. Now, how do we get it to actually slide into that chord? Here's how you do it. So to slide into that chord, we're going to go ahead and adjust the pitch shifting of each one of these notes individually. Like I said, there's no editing capabilities currently in Logic to do that. So we're gonna have to split this MIDI region by each note. So to do that, all we gotta do is control click our region and go separate by note pitch. But before we do that, I'm actually gonna bring in the pitch plugin that we're gonna use to have that pitch slide, just so that it copies it to each track and we don't have to do it later. So over on our track, we're gonna go over to audio units. We'll go to Apple, and we're gonna go over to Logic's AU pitch. It's off my screen right here, and go to stereo. This pitch plugin will allow you to slide that pitch and not step it by each semitone like the other ones in Logic. Let's go back to our region here, control click, and go separate by note pitch. Now what we're gonna do is duplicate this track 9 times. And we're going to take this MIDI and we're going to copy it up over here, or move it up over here. This way we can adjust the automation on the individual tracks rather than the other way, which everything will move in accordance with each other. So let's go ahead and delete that out. And we still got the same thing here. Just a quick way to separate those notes by pitch. Now let's get into the automation. So we're going to do over here on this track, we're going to change this over to touch. We're going to go over to our AU pitch, and we're just going to slide this just so that we have our lane for pitch in here. And what we got to do here is everything is going to lead into that middle F note. So this note right over here. We want everything to come out from that into the proper note. Sounds confusing, but it's not. So since this first F over here is up 1 octave, sorry, down 1 octave, we got to pitch it up 1 octave to slide down into its original note. So to do that, we're gonna use our pitch plugin, and we're gonna go up 1200 cents. 100 cents equals 1 semitone. So there's 1200 right there. We're gonna draw another dot at the end, and we're gonna slide down to 0. Just like that. And now we essentially got to do the math for each lane just so that we can slide down to its original note. So this note was 3 notes higher than this one over here. So that means we're going to go from plus 900 cents down to 0. So let's go over to our track, go over to AU pitch, turn on touch, and slide this. All right, now we're going to go over here, go 900. Okay, we get as close as possible. And a little trick over here to move it by a fine amount. Hold that dot, hold down the control key, and go upwards. It allows you to adjust it by fine tuning it. So let's go ahead and drag that up one more time. So we're going to go from 900. All right, and we're going to go down to 0. So now we got this. All right, so now we got to keep going. So this one was 4 notes up from that. So what that means is we got to go up 500 semitones this time. So we're going to select this, and we could just copy this down as a quick way to just copy and get that track lane in there. So let's go to 500. Once I said, get it close, zoom on in, and then we'll just click, hold, control, and we'll go to 500. All right, and we go down to 0. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do the math on each one, and when we come back, I'll show you the final product. All right, so when it's all said and done, your MIDI automation will look something like this. All these numbers are leading from that middle F, sliding into its appropriate note. So it sounds like this. So what I did in this section here is I just copied the same chords over, and everything is playing at the original note that it's supposed to be, so 0 cents. And then we're sliding down into the second chord of A flat minor 7. But to get that chord, I used some math to get those notes to the appropriate spot. So a lot of math goes on into getting this type of effect in Logic, at least. If you're using Ableton 12, this is a whole lot easier, but it seems a lot harder than it is. But once you get the hang of it and once you get the math down, it's really easy and quick. So altogether, it sounds like this. That right there is how you get that slide effect from Ye and Dolla Slide. If you do have any questions on this or just want to chat, just go and talk down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.